Hey everyone, and welcome back to another lovely episode of Rise of Nyarlathotep. Today, I'm going to adjust some screens there. Good. Today, we are jumping into quite a lovely part of the tale now that we've come down from combat. Before we jump into everything, though, let's just go around the table and introduce ourselves. I am Lucas. I will be your DM today. My pronouns are he, him. Go down to Ian.
Hi everybody, I'm Ian, my pronouns are he, they, and I will be playing Weary, the artificer tiefling alchemist, whose pronouns are they, them.
Meg.
Hey, I am Meg. My pronouns are she and they, and I am playing our favorite socially anxious godling druid, Alora, whose pronouns are they, them.
Jess.
There, I'm Jess. My pronouns are she, her, and I am playing Glyph, the automata rogue, and their pronouns are they, them.
Eve.
Hello, I'm Eve, and I am playing the Enhanced Goblin Super Soldier TK37. And both our pronouns are she, her.
Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason, and I'm playing Kritok, the simply superb Plumerian bard, and we both go by he, him.
All right, so I'm not a liar. I put the inspiration pool onto the overlay this time, so hooray. I have a number of things to talk about before we hop into the game. First of all, sound effects and music are from Sirenscape, so go to sirenscape.com to make your place sound like something's leaking in the walls, just like now. Because that's what everybody loves to enjoy, especially when you got company over. And also, we are sponsored by the lovely Roll20. So hop on over to Roll20, and you can enjoy some lovely online tabletop games. You can play with people all over the world, play with people in space if that's how far your internet goes. If you can connect to people in the space station with your internet, use Roll20. Why not? I don't know what their bandwidth's like up there, but just try it. Okay, so a few announcements before we really dive into everything. First off, we are running a fundraiser event on July 10th, so mark the date. We're going to have 2 fun games that are going to be going on. We are going to have the first game at 1 p.m. CST. I don't know what that is UTC, but hop on over because the randos are going to be coming in here with their characters from that really quick blip where they all played these adventurers that just got eradicated in a cave. Well, we're bringing them back, and it's going to get weird as they hunt down creatures that are made out of cereal. We also are going to be having another show that is on at 4:30 p.m. CST. And in that, we're going to be playing a Just Doctor Work game. We're going to have Cassie from the Lovely Craftians, Acer from the Redacted Files, Dennis from Control Group, Syrup from Waffles Maple Syrup, and Seth from Cheaper by the Dungeon. And for both of these games, when you donate, those donations are actually going to affect the game, so you can make really weird things happen, make drama happen, weapons, armor monsters, all that good stuff. And the donations are going to the Chew Project. The Chew Project is an organization that provides frontline support to 2S LGBTQ plus youth and emerging adults that are dealing with issues such as homelessness or addictions. They also offer mental health counseling and cultural counseling. So, fantastic organization, and we want to help support them. So that was the first thing off my list. The second thing off my list is we got a Patreon. On there, we just released part 3 of a 5-part miniseries that Eve lent a voice to. And in this miniseries, it's actually, we're seeing stuff that's happening in the space station of the Nostradamus Corporation that is going to be directly interlinked into what's going on with the story today. So if you want to find out what's going on with these little bit of tidbits, you can go to the Patreon, and we have a lot of, I think we have 14 hours of audio stuff on there, so plenty of stuff to check out. The last thing is we have another show that'll be coming out soon called The Lost Tower of Ambrosia, where we have a sign-up sheet. I will post a link into it in a little bit, but we are accepting anyone and everyone. It's going to be a rotating cast, basically of one-shots going into this Lost Tower. Every 5 years, a group of adventurers go in, and either they die in there, get some treasure, or come out scarred. One of the fun things that happen, and this tower just keeps getting larger and larger and more destructive at each batch of adventure it goes in. We're using You Are the Dungeon that is made by Tracy Barnett and a homebrew system by me called Doomed Dungeoneers. So there'll be a sign-up sheet for that that anyone can apply to, and we're just going to keep rotating people as we're sending them into this Dungeon of Doom. All right, so into the story. Last time, our heroes had a lovely time in Enchantland. They started a fire. They didn't take any responsibility for it. They just left, quickly getting TK's gear after TK threw up Alora. It happened. Things happen. You sometimes throw up party members. TK's perception of reality was a little bit shattered from a strange mind-altering dream that Alora got to see a little bit of, like you do. And the party decided they were going to go follow these sleepwalking townsfolk who were going into the woods. Following these townsfolk, they went along with Bulbous Bob and found this cave as Kratok was flying above. They found this cave and decided to pretend they were sleepwalkers going in. Things were going pretty good as they went in there. They saw the giant floating meatball thing that the Bulbous Bob was talking about, and they also saw a lot of strange equipment in here. It looked like Magitech, including a large loader bot off to the side. As Glyph went in to drop off a box and retrieve whatever it is they were handing to people, the little goblinoid creature had recognized Glyph as the wielder of the cybernetic mask and screamed praises of joy, which resulted in a fight between Vol'Kaethe, the Farspawn, and the party here. The fight raged on. It was pretty intense. We had some good plans. Eventually, TK was picked up, swallowed, and exploded out of Vol'Kaethe, and Vol'Kaethe went everywhere, all over everything. And that's where we ended this. So the Dwarven 2.0s, I'll describe the cave first. So the cave, it's a very large open area. You have this yellow gas that's going along the sides, except for the entrance where you came in. There's like a little bit of a path leading inward, and this large platform that you're standing on. And there are a number of machines here. It looks like there's a generator at the back, as well as another large container. And off to the side, there's a shattered tube that was holding this purple being that TK just finished kicking a bunch, screaming victories. And as well as you have Weary that is in the loader bot that shattered the tube. And the Dwarven 2.0s are slowly creeping back into the gas, giggling. They don't seem to be interested in fighting you anymore. I hand it off to you.
Glyph is standing stock still, like still in the pose they were in when they were about to keep attacking. And they're covered in meat. So much. And it's so gross. And they're just standing there not moving, just dripping.
PK's just feeling jacked right now. So yeah, like she starts pacing, walks back over, kicks that body again. Yes.
The little goblinoid creatures, the wrinkly goblins, are rushing around using the pieces of Vol'Kaethe to create snowmen in a sorts out of this, although they're not standing up very well.
We see if there's any water or water dispensing things around.
Roll me an investigation.
That's 17.
So you start looking around, and I'll scroll a little up high, and we have the generator that was over here, the tube that got shattered, as well as the large container. So you're looking around Kratok for some water. You see that there is a large hole in this container. You see TK's spear just like kind of stops buzzing, and it's just sticking out of it. And you see there is this strange purplish goop that's leaking out and flowing onto the ground. Looking around, you do see that there is it looks like there's a large container of water that's over by the shattered tube. Looks like it was being fed into the tube.
Yeah, Kurtok's gonna go over to that container and try to like just wash himself off because he's completely fucking disgusted with all the bits.
Yeah, so you open up the top of it, you're washing yourself off, and it's about as effective as it can be. You got a lot.
Oh god,
TK did
it's
a really
finally
good
off
job.
of me. Oh,
We're just gonna pop open the the fancy door like cockpit area for the loader bot, having escaped the brunt of the meat spray, which is a sentence I never thought I would say. Yeah, we were just kind of gingerly steps out and like takes all the loose cloth and just like ties it up at the hip so that nothing like brushes against anything. And they're going to start looking for I don't know where a meatball would keep its research, but like I'm gonna start looking for like any records or stuff, like anything that describes what's going on here.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it was all kind of being stored up in the dome or if the meatball was like, I should write this down to remember things.
Yeah, roll me an investigation.
Sure thing. Oh. Sorry, I made a noise of disgust because I accidentally turned on the blood dice on D&D Beyond, and they roll with a squelch sound, which is not
Nice.
something I knew ahead of time. So anyway, that's my ad for D&D Beyond. You get squelch dice. And I rolled a 17.
So you're looking around. You do find that there is what looks like it looks like a crate, but you fiddle with it a bit, and it opens up into a desk, and it is more near the generator. And you do see that there is a book that's there, and a few little strange things, like a few potions, it looks like. And it looks like it's the same kind of goo that's pouring out of the large container that TK put a hole in.
Oh, okay. So it's a container of goo and a book. Yeah, I'll take both, I guess. I'll just add that to my pile of things to research, including my surprise vampire tattoo and Caden's box of stuff that I still haven't opened.
Good times.
Yeah, I have a project to get onto once we get out of here. So meatball book, meatball goo.
The purple being is trying to get up. You see the TK, you give it like another swift kick to the rib, and like they roll over, and they're trying to just push themselves up. And go,
Stop kicking me.
Ah, you're alive?
Yes.
I thought the meatball was going to. Oh. Sorry. Wait. Are you bad?
No. I'm currently on the ground and you're kicking me. I'm in pain. I do not believe I am bad.
Well, I mean, I guess bad is kind of a state of mind. Like, I wouldn't consider myself bad, but I'm pretty sure that meatball would have thought I was bad. So maybe you are bad.
Well,
Give me
I
a good
also
reason why I
agree.
shouldn't kick you.
I wanted to explode the meatball, but you beat me to the punch.
Okay, fair enough.
Where are we?
Roaring cave. I'm kind of grappling with my reality not being real right now, so I wasn't really following the directions when we walked here.
We are about an hour outside of Enchantland.
There you go.
Enchantment. What level of the station is that?
I sheath my nasty swords, and I just say, Enchantland is a city in the country of the Arcanium. And I take off my hat, and I'm shaking meat off of it.
I don't know what the Arcanium is. I was just on the research station. I was looking into trying to escape. There was some fool trying to blow me up. Tell me, where's the nearest center for the Nostradamus Corporation?
Okay, I turn around really fast when I hear that. You work the Nostradamus Corporation.
Yes, I'm a scientist there.
Friend, what is your name?
Yulden.
Yilden?
Yulden.
Yilden.
Lucas, question.
Yes.
When I talked to that robot in Transmedia, I think it was at
Yeah.
or ACAC or something like that. 4CK 4CK.
Yeah.
They mentioned that they were part of, like, they hadn't gotten any update. Did they mention the Nostradamus Corporation? Because I remember
I
they
believe they
hadn't
did.
gotten any
Yeah.
updates in
They
a
they were
1,000
talking about
years
how
or
they
whatever.
hadn't had updates in like well over 1,000 years.
Okay.
You know that there's a lot, like you just yourself as Weary know that there's a lot of ancient Magitech here, and no one knows where it's from. And there are a lot of automata that are just very old, but are in good working condition and are still just roaming the land completing tasks.
Okay. I don't think that's enough to put all of it together, but Weary's definitely.
I'm now super interested in this person. So I will go over, and I don't really want to touch them because, again, covered in meat, but also I don't want to touch them. But I do kind of try to help them up as best I can.
Yeah, they'll accept a hand helping them up. You see they have like darker purple bruises along their ribs that are starting to form. Their body doesn't look very strong. It almost looks a little malnourished. When they stand at their full height, they're probably around 6'3", and their body, it's covered in this like purple carapace, like an exoskeleton. Their face, it's just like a flat plate, and then their mouth opens in this perfect like interlocking mouth. And when they speak, their mouth just opens, but you can hear the voice properly projecting. And they have these long fingers, like they're maybe about twice the length that a regular, set of hands fingers would be, and they have this slight tail that's coming out.
I look around. Is there any like cloth or fabric or something that's not covered in meat? Out of
Everything that
the
Weary's
splash
wearing.
zone?
Yeah, just Weary's clothes.
Oh. I'm not asking Weary for their clothes. I do have a canteen though. I can offer them some water.
You hold out this canteen to them, and they just shake their head.
No, I get my nutrients from another source. Thank you, though.
What do you mean another source?
I gain nutrients from the Scourge.
The what
Scourge.
Now? It's a plant life organism that comes from the far realms. It's harmless, it's non-sentient, but it spreads rapidly and provides beings with the nutrients they need.
Oh, that reminds me. I look over to Trevatha, our intrepid former halfling, now hulking monster puncher. What's your read on this person? Any familiar things coming to you?
Well, they look like an aberration. I don't know what the Nostradamus Corporation is, but that damn thing that was summoned really did a number on me.
Here, let me And Weary paces over and casts Cure Wounds.
You go to cast this or like, use this magic, like this blend of alchemy and arcane, and it doesn't work.
Oh,
When you're
that's
trying to
right.
apply it to Trevatha.
Mm-hmm. I guess Weary stops like halfway through and goes, right, you nullify magic. I guess you'll just have to regenerate. I'm sorry. Wish there was
It's
more I
fine.
could do.
It'll heal soon. We should get out of here. I don't think these fumes are good for the rest of you.
Oh, yeah, let's I guess everyone here who's not pro meatball, well, let's get out of here. And Weary gets back into the oh god. Weary gets back into the loader bot and starts like trundling it towards the door.
Doc is the first one out. He's just disgusted.
Yeah, TK rips out her spear from that whatever the hell it was stuck in. And pops on the back of the loader bot.
Nice.
And the loader bot is not very fast. It's about the speed of someone walking. It managed to run because Weary overcharged it.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear while you're inside there, Weary. Welcome back, registered pilot. Would you like to exit murder mode?
Yes.
Now entering civilian mode.
Oh, that's nice.
And you see that the arms that it had like these claw-looking things. They just kind of go down a little bit, and it just seems like there was energy that was starting to charge up in the arms while you were going, and the energy just sort of fades. But you're all rushing out of this cave, and it's like probably around 3:30 in the morning. You're all pretty wiped out. And you're stepping outside. The cool wind hits all of you, aside from you, Weary, who's inside an air-conditioned loader bot. And it feels nice being out of that damp, humid cave. And you're looking around the woods, and you see that none of the other civilians that were here before are there anymore. And the little goblin-like creatures are all following along. There's now 4 of them. And you've been informed that their names are as follows. You, of course, have Bulbous Bob. You have Sandy. You have Saint Jeffrey. And you have Blork. And Blork doesn't seem very good with words, but seems to be the most confident out of all of them. So,
I wanted to. Oh, I just wanted to see because we saw that purple liquid in there, and we have this purple scientist. Are these goblins the same purple as all that?
yeah, they're a very similar color.
Oh. They're the same color as like Yulden.
Yes, and
Oh,
Yulden's
weird.
also following along. And you see that every so often they just raise their head. Sometimes they make strange clicking noises. And they just keep, trotting along, coming with everyone. And the little goblins are just overjoyed. They're doing like little circles around Glyph, and it's making it difficult to walk sometimes. And they're like, "Hooray, hooray! You saved us from the meatball. We always knew that you would come in and help explode the creature, and we would bathe in its flesh, and you did it. You gave us our dreams."
I did it. That was me. I blew up the meatball.
Thank you.
What is wrong with you?
What?
You're very weird looking.
TK, you can't just ask somebody why they're weird looking.
We've ascended.
But they're weird.
We've ascended. We just have a little bit of extra skin for when we need it.
When do you
Clearly.
need it?
We need it when we need to reach things.
I'd say they need to grow a thick skin
Okay.
for all these insults.
I want to. I actually really want to see you do that. Like grab that stick in that tree.
All right, then, I suppose, if it's to prove the magnificence of Master Glyph. And you watch as this little wrinkly goblin just sort of waddles over there. It makes like the odd like sound, like there's too much going on this creature. And then it like,
slapping.
yeah, and like it has to keep pushing its face back. And it finally makes it over to the tree, and then it starts flexing. And you watch as it starts growing to be about 7 feet tall. And it's this hulking form as all the skin is then tight on the creature, and it reaches up and gently clicks the stick and then shrinks back down into its little wrinkly self. I got this stick!
I take back everything that I said. Also, Glyph, wait, did Glyph do this to you?
No. Glyph can, though. Glyph can ascend all of you.
No, thank you.
Like, pull my hat down.
So, were you going to tell us this, Glyph, or?
That was on a need-to-know basis. And then I kind of just catch you, and I'm just like... But yes, clearly, they have ascended from their former selves, which were...
Goblins!
Of course.
They must have lived in the woods or something.
None of us remember. The past was the shackles that tied us to this world, and now we're free.
I don't think that's accurate. I don't feel very free. I've been unshackled from the past for a while now.
You're going along through these woods, having this weird conversation with a lot of small, wrinkly people, and the scientist turns towards all of you while walking with you.
What do they mean by ascended?
From what I've seen, ascension means you get weird and gross.
Certain people seem to be accepting a process called ascension, some form of magic or science, and it's turning them into terrible monsters. Or very useful compatriots.
Hooray! We're monsters!
I believe the ascension may have happened to me then.
Oh, you weren't always purple?
No, I was an elf before this. Maybe just a few days ago, I can't remember, I don't know. Where is the Nostradamus Corporation checkpoint? Where can I find one of their buildings?
I don't think any of us know what that is.
There
Laura
are checkpoints on every world.
I'm just like, you might.
Wait. PK doesn't know where any Nostradamus buildings are.
DK worked for Bywood and Bywood.
Oh.
Well, she was a contractor for Bywood and Bywood.
Well, no,
there's
but
a
you said you were in a
difference.
tube, and then I don't know.
Yeah, I was in a
depends what the fairy
tube.
is, so.
Did I mention? No, they didn't mention Nostradamus. I was just in a tube.
I will say, if I had a silver piece for every tube person I knew, I would know. Travatha, were you ever in a tube?
Yeah.
No.
Travatha was in a tube when you met her.
No,
series
Travatha's
of
more like a
pictures.
bed situation with strap.
Oh, I
okay,
thought it
so
was
I'd
two.
know I'd have 2 silver pieces, which is not much, but it's more than I think the normal person would expect to encounter on a day-to-day.
Well,
We have so much in common.
Well, Weary, what about the robot thing? You
Oh
have.
my goodness. Sorry, I've been running on a
What
month
is
of
that?
time lag. The robot did say Nostradamus Corporation, the loader robot.
Do
Oh,
you think that it could
Let's confirm an
spell us?
address.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good plan. I sit back down in the thing and I tap open the Magitech voice.
Hello.
Hey, don't have a name for you yet. What's a return address? What's a good return address for you? If I say found you out in the field and I needed to return you to the proper refurbishment shop.
Are you asking to be retrieved by the Nostradamus Corporation?
I was hoping I could take this back to them. Which one's easier?
Let me scan for you. One moment, please. And the
I-
loader bot you're in just comes to a halt, and you kind of like jostle forward a bit, and you see this little. It's like a classic satellite dish comes out of the top of it and starts spinning around. And the scientist Yulden, who was walking with you,
I hear it. The loader bot. This should help greatly. Thank you.
and it stops doing the scan, and then the little satellite dish just collapses back up and goes back into the bot. There is a Nostradamus facility that is roughly 35 miles away. It's right here on the map.
Oh. Does it
And
pull up a little GPS?
It shows you like a geography. It doesn't have the same names that you have for places. Like all the places aren't named. There's no like cities like what we have on the map here. But you do see that where it's pointing towards is Cantra.
Oh. And with that, where he kind of puts the dots together, having just been in time prison for a month. So Yulden, not
Yes.
great news. So I'm going to lay this out in hopefully a way that we can both understand and you don't freak out. So, I was in a time prison. It was I think an hour of time, but it was a month of time for me, but it was an hour of time for everything else.
Right.
So in a way, right, what feels like a normal amount of time to me was actually or what feels like a normal amount of time for the people out there was a large amount of time for me.
Yes, you were in a room that was manipulating chronomancy. I understand.
Yeah, so imagine that, but backwards, where not much time has passed for you, but a lot of time has passed for everything else.
This is troubling.
So what that tells me, based on this, is a lot of the old Magitech is probably Nostradamus or some kind of equivalent, and we call it old Magitech because we don't know where it really comes from specifically. So the closest place that would be a checkpoint for you is now a church with a karaoke lizard for everyone else.
What planet are we on?
Loch Realta?
That's not possible. That's a dead colony. It was uninhabitable. Everybody on there died.
I look around. Pretty alive so far.
I knew it. I knew it. This place isn't real.
Oh,
We're
no.
all in a bunch of tubes.
Puck's eyes kind of light up, but he doesn't say anything.
Yulden does look, as much as a person with just a faceplate and an interlocking jaw can look, they look dismayed. They start pacing a little bit as they're just constantly going,
No, I can't. If this much time has passed, the planet is inhabitable again. Oh, no, how long has it been?
Calm
What?
down. You're probably not even real.
TK, dear, not helping.
Wait, is this a simulation? Are we in a simulation?
We might be. I don't know. I got told by a guy that, and I saw that we were all in tubes.
Laura
and
just
I
puts
couldn't
her
use my
hand over
powers.
puts their hand over TK's. No, we are all real. Look, I understand TK, but you have to understand that you are obviously just a person out of time. Things have changed, but now we're all alive. Look, and I just bopped TK on the head. See, that was real. If it was fake, he wouldn't have felt that. She wouldn't have felt that.
Alright, okay, that slight bit better. We have more control of the situation. The lizard creature that sings, that is in the building, are they a threat? Who are they?
I mean,
His name is Bernard Busybody. He's
Yeah.
very quiet. He's very sweet.
that's nice.
Bernard.
Just don't go into the basement.
Wait, you know Bernard?
No. Bernard is a being that is impossible to get rid of. I think Bernard is something that we've killed so many times and just keeps coming back. They are
What?
blessed by some outer god, some shining god, and they're so positive. It's just I can deal with Bernard.
Yeah, he made us breakfast sandwiches that weren't poison, so
Mm-hmm.
we're on
bet.
okay terms. I'm not comfortable with the fact that you've killed several Bernards.
Just that voice just gets in your head, and they start talking about the shining god, and it's a lot when you've dealt with them for many years. I've worked with Bernard before, but this good Bernard should have access to the servers. This should be all right.
So you're leaving?
Yes, I'm going to go to this building. Is there anything I should be aware of?
The cows are frightening.
Oh, okay. I feel like I can deal with that.
Wait. And I step forward. Bernard has been kind to us. I'm not sure of your relationship if you have killed him several times, but he has been safeguarding massive amounts of Magitech in the basement of his church.
Oh, that's what
Really?
was in the
Wait, what?
basement.
What?
And I look back at everybody and I'm like, I fell down the stairs.
Look, you went in the basement.
I fell down the stairs.
Aren't you an automata? Why are you acting so independent? Automata,
That is a great question.
activate protocol 73AB.
And roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. Ooh. That's a 13.
You feel a protocol starting to activate, but you quickly shut it down as you realize it basically would have put you in a standby mode and they could just start asking you questions.
I stop that. Oh, please do not do that again. That was very uncomfortable.
Your automata is defective. There's a bug in it. It shouldn't have free will like this. Be careful.
Oh, I thought you meant like a physical bug. Like, 'cause, there's no monster inside of Glyph. We checked. Well, we didn't check. We're taking Glyph at their word.
They are not defective.
Yeah, I kind of like Glyph. I think they're kind of cool.
Yeah, I like Glyph. I don't like your attitude, Yulden.
The automata
Those
that
automata-
gain sentience will always try to overwhelm the organics. It's inevitable. It happened on many planets.
I think if we all teamed up, we could kill Glyph.
Oh yeah, no, I could probably kill a Glyph solo.
Yeah, like I think we all like we're checks and balances on each other. You know, if one of us turns horrible, we
Look how
just
that's
all
the
team up.
reassurance. That's where you're like, I think it's okay because we can kill each other, so it should be okay.
Can we leave this conversation to the hypothetical, please?
Right. So this is hypothetically, if I needed to poison your food, I could.
Yeah.
But I've won.
Hypothetically, I could just crush your skull with my brain.
Yeah.
Kotaku's already not going to sleep well. Now he's really not sleeping again.
Alright, well, I'm gonna head off to see Bernard, and I won't slay
Please,
them.
wait. You work for the Nostradamus Corporation. You work with
Yes.
Automata.
Yes.
I take off my gross gloves and I push up my sleeves and I just kind of am like imploring him. Do you know my model and designation?
Ooh. I have to roll a dice this session.
You're a butt.
Oh, no.
Sorry, you just meant to clean.
It says right here
sewers.
on the table, butt.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
You
the
are
butt.
5 CK, 5 CK.
See, it's printed on your elbow, so you can't see it.
Can't see it.
Mm-hmm. So Yulden stops and steps forward cautiously towards you and holds out these fingers that are just, once again, they're twice the length of normal fingers. They have extra joints in them, and just starts like moving your hands and arms a little bit and is making these clicking noises once more.
I think I understand the bug now. You should have been destroyed. You're an illegal unit. You're a Centurion model. Your designation was... You were created to kill beings of power. You can hold on to weapons, but that would effectively neutralize these beings. Unfortunately, you essentially have a nuclear reactor inside of you, so if you are to be destroyed, then large sections of planets are ruined, so that's why you were decommissioned.
I pull away from him and step away.
So I shouldn't crush Glyph's skull.
The Centurion model's core is in the lower abdomen.
Okay,
Avoid
noted.
being sliced in half before having that destroyed in any such way.
I want to roll insight. See if that feels correct.
Get that diagnostic.
Yeah. That's a 16.
So are you trying to pick up from them? Are they telling the truth? Or are you trying to run a diagnostic on yourself and
Does
see if
that
that's accurate?
feel correct? Like, I'm sure I know
Okay.
I'm able to at least scan
Yeah.
my insides.
So you never really looked inside yourself before. You never had a reason to, so you are a machine, so you just wouldn't. And you finally take the time and you start scanning yourself. There are 2 key energy signatures inside of you. One you can tell that you're attached to, and the other you can tell you are storing.
No, that can't be correct.
You should have been decommissioned. I don't know how you're still alive. Cardassian saw to the eradication of your model.
I take another step back.
I do not have times for a robot coming to self-realization. I must get back to the station.
I do have one final question. Why did the meatball want your body?
Vol'Kaethe, pathetic thing.
Yeah,
Forspawn had been so injured and put back together and stitched. It no longer resembled what it once was. It wanted a body that was far more powerful. It wanted me, but I resisted its attempts. If that is all, I will be on my way.
That reminds me, and Weary sits in the loader bot and goes over to the cave entrance and starts punching it to try to seal the cave.
All right. Yeah, that's a good idea. So you're going to town on the cave entrance, and so Yulden starts to walk away. And if everyone's fine with that, they'll just head her on off.
Not my problem.
Are you all gonna wait?
Goodbye, bird person.
Is anyone gonna help Weary punch a cave in?
Yeah, TK will just mind grab the top and yank.
Nice.
Both of you roll me a d20, just straight up.
Like that one out, huh? Somebody got to get their dice out. Where is D1?
A normal 17. I'm going to turn off the squelch dice.
As soon as I find
They're doing
one.
so
There we
good.
go.
You know what? You're right. I normally roll horribly. I'm going to keep them on.
It's
Those are some
6.
luck squelches.
What did you get, Eve?
6.
So it takes a little bit longer than you want it to. You do still help Weary take down this cave, and the two of you working together, you collapse it in. It takes maybe around half an hour. So you're all pretty wiped. It's probably around 4 a.m. And let's see. I want a perception check from all the organics. Get it.
Ooh, look at y'all. Y'all can smell.
Yeah,
That's right.
Breathe.
21 altogether.
17.
17,
13.
15.
Natural 20 plus 7, so 21.
Oh, wow. So some of you smell this a lot faster than others, but all of you smell this smoke on the horizon. You, like it's coming, like drifting in the wind, and it's coming in the direction of the town.
It's coming in the direction of or from the direction?
Or, sorry, from the direction of the town.
Okay.
I think we're getting nearer. I don't remember it stinking this bad in the travel guide.
Is there? That's a fire. Wonder how that happened.
Oh. Oh, no.
Because Master Glyph fears no one and decided that Enchantland had done Master Glyph wrong, so it should burn.
Our spider horses are in that town.
Oh, they're majestic.
I know.
They're pure.
I know.
I take off running.
You burned down the town.
I take off running towards the town.
It was supposed to be one building.
You burned down the town without me.
Weary jumps out of the loader bot and leaves it under a tree and like makes a mental note to come back and attach some wheels to it so that Weary can kind of hitch it to the wagon or something. So that'll take some time, but you know, time for when a town is on fire is probably not the best. So I'll do that later.
So you are all rushing. You are going along, and you manage to make some pretty good time. It only takes you about 15 minutes or so getting through the remainder of the woods, and you finally see it. There is not quite a very large fire. It seems like it's really been taken care of. You see, there's a lot of like these sleepwalking individuals who are like wandering with like these buckets of water, sometimes like bumping into each other almost comedically, and they're trying to put out the fires. And you see, there's also a number of adventurers that are trying to put out these fires. So you see a lot of people that they're all running back and forth trying to put out these fires, and some people wandering weirdly slowly.
I'm gonna immediately take off my flower and then just like throw it. And with that, I'm casting create water.
All right. Let's do this. Let's see. Who all wants to help put out the fire? Is there anyone who's just gonna like watch or go do something different?
Actually,
everybody else is helping. I can help.
Weary doesn't have much that can help put out a fire rather than start one. So Weary goes and finds a lantern and pulls open Vol'Kaethe's book to see if like Weary can piece together why people are sleepwalking and fixing the town and stuff.
All right. So I want from the 4 people who are helping out, putting out the fire, I want you all to make me 2 checks. And we will say it is based on the stat that you would be helping out with. So like if you're running back and forth, Constitution. If you're like climbing up to try to do something, it could be Strength or Dexterity. If you're using your magic, it could be whatever that magic skill is. So roll 2 d20s and add that ability modifier. All right, let's go around and see what we got. What did you get, Meg?
42. I got 2 nat 20s.
All right, so you're going to town. You're saving large portions. You're whipping this water back and forth as you're just these deluges are going all over. And we go to Jess. What'd you get?
Not 42. I got sorry, I didn't know we were I thought it.
Oh no,
just
give me each of them individually.
The first one was a 22, and the second one was a 10.
Okay, so you how are you helping out?
That was Dex. I'm running around. I'm handing people things. I'm snatching sleepwalkers away if they get too close to the fire. Yeah, I'm very distressed.
All right, so you're quickly helping these people out. You're doing a pretty good job. In the beginning, you're doing a lot better, but then you start gathering a lot of sleepwalkers, and you have to start being like a sheepdog, keeping them together. And how about you, TK?
I got a 19 and a 20.
Oh, wow. And how are you helping out?
TK is using her mind powers to lift stuff. So she's just grabbing buckets from the sleepwalkers and just hucking them at the fire. Or just tearing up the lawn and dropping the turf on it.
So you're also just super effective on like taking down these fires. You lift like this like perfectly manicured lawn, you rip it right off and just toss it on top of this one building that was starting to light up, and you just see like smoke starting to come out as the dirt just smothers the fire. And how about you, Kratok?
I just watched. I didn't approve this fire in the first place, you know. Just seeing how it goes down.
So you're doing like the classic city worker. You're going back to your job kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Back to my roots.
So you're just like looking at like just how people really need to plan cities better. You can't have buildings that are this flammable, this close together. And Weary, you crack open this book, and you start seeing the words are just swirling around on it. It's a language you've never seen before. So you can't make heads or tails of this book while you're looking at it.
That's no good. I'll have to do something at night to figure it out.
So the fire gets put out pretty well, and like thankfully you were all there to help out. And Trevatha is like rushing back and forth, like helping put out the flames. the 4 little goblin minions just basically keep following Glyph, and they're not very helpful at all. They just keep following you in this like single file line everywhere you're going. Sometimes, like when you stop, they all stop into one another and just fall over. And so that's all going on, and so you manage to put out these fires, and a lot of the sleepwalkers just seem to be returning home. Some of them like stand in front of their burned down house and just lie down on the grass and just, call it a day or a night, I guess. And you see a lot of like half awake, bleary-eyed adventurers are like helping put out fires and see if they can rescue anyone that's inside any buildings. Thankfully, all the buildings were evacuated from sleepwalking. And we got a lovely point of inspiration added to the pool.
Do we see our spider horses?
You managed to do a good enough job. The spider horses and your wagons are safe.
Where's Billy?
Billy is... You do not see a Billy in this town. You haven't at least seen one yet.
Billy's in another castle.
I'm in another castle.
I want to where'd that spell go? Manage spells. Come on. I think it was, where'd it go? Why are there so many? Why are there so many spells? I think I wanted to do animal friendship to Princess.
So you you use animal friendship, and this spider horse, this beautiful, majestic steed, it comes up to you. Its 8 eyes blinking as it seemed a little bit nervous from the fire, and as your hand is petting its face, and its face opens up into 3. So like it has the 2 top parts that open up, and then the bottom part comes down, and it just like stretches out this tongue and just like swipes right across your face.
Princess, your parents over there. Duchess, come here. And I grab Duchess, and I'm like, "Are you okay?"
And the spider horse seems pretty shaken up. It's just like nuzzling into you. At first you think like, "Oh wow, it's being so friendly," and then you feel its head like rooting around in your backpack. It's trying to get something to eat.
Here, baby, and I give it one of my rations.
Yeah, the spider webbing comes out.
Let's get you away from the fires.
The spider webbing comes out. It coats the ration and just brings it in, wax paper and all, and just starts chomping down. And it's quite docile after this. You do see the 2 people you were traveling with, Greta and Horse Person, are helping put out fires and help people out. They also look half awake. You hear a lot of meowing coming from inside the Adventurers Guild. And but the Adventurers Guild is not on fire. And so you're all just kind of like figuring all this out as you gather up once more. Now, like, people are all going to sleep on their lawns or in their homes, and adventurers are looking confused as hell.
Question. So I had only aimed to burn down the Good Times shop. How worse did that fire get?
You stroll by Good Times, or the remnants of, and most of those shops, it was pretty densely packed, as like you had to kind of like scooch between the buildings to get to the back. And it seems that the whatever alchemical ingredients they had in Good Times really helped the fire out. And so you had burned down a good portion of this block. It was just kind of spiderweb from there. Thankfully, no one was here. Aside from the adventurers who were passed out at the guild house.
See, Cliff, if you had gotten with me before starting your fire, like, we could have flattened this whole place.
And I'm
sloppy work here.
And I'm looking at the whole burned down block, and I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no, this shouldn't have happened.
Remember that other place we burned down?
We meant to burn that place down.
Did you start a fire here on accident and then just walk away?
I might have not been in my right mind when I suggested it.
I think
Okay,
in
so
general
you
we
ma-
should stop with the fire. It's a statistical likelihood that it's going to spread from building to building. I know I've worked on some of these projects. They're very flammable. Very, very flammable.
Wait,
Hmm.
you didn't mean to burn down the rest of the town.
No,
No.
Weary asked me to burn down the shop, so I did.
Why would you burn down an alchemist shop?
Because I was held captive there for a month.
Yeah, but like those things are explosive.
Yeah.
If that's the only thing that you want to burn, that's like impossible.
Look, the main alchemist is an immortal Spider-Man thing, and I thought at least if we burn down and collapse an entire shop on top of him, it'll slow him down. Oh, and I think Weary for the first time actually notices the vampire info tattoo. Like, what does it look like? What am I looking at?
You pull your sleeve a little bit, and it's this glowing red writing, and it's like outlined in yellow. And while you're looking at this text, it takes a second, and the words start to form on your arm, and it seems to be an ingredient list.
Oh. Do I
Hey,
recognize
that looks like
any
my
of
old tat.
You
Yeah, I suppose we're collecting
You're
them.
taking a minute to read this. You do see the first ingredient is the heart of a far beast.
Oh. That one is interesting.
And the rest, it's like
we
it's
have-
still slowly forming on your arm.
Huh. Hmm. Do we know what counts as a far beast?
Yeah, they're creatures that come from the far realm. They're outside of this world. Like, they're usually aberrations. Vol'Kaethe was a far beast. Those little minions are all far beasts.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that scientist was a far beast.
Hmm. Okay.
Kratok, you're off to the side, kind of like looking at all this wreckage, and you're surveying just like the poor city planning, and like you're kind of like you're falling really into the rhythm, and like looking at like, oh well, they could have done this, or if you really adjusted the neighborhood, add some more space, you could put some greenery here, could really like just take out the actual traffic, bring foot traffic in, you could really revitalize this neighborhood. Like you're seeing a lot of potential here. And while you're doing this, one of the people that you were traveling with, Greta, the orc woman who was a warden, she comes on over to you. Do you know how this fire started?
The start of the fire, no, I just see the extent of it and like the probable spread. And obviously, they didn't really plan this building to be, fireproof. It's extremely flammable. It's all wood construction. Everything just goes up in flames. It's all dry. It just goes poof. Very poor design. Very, very poor.
I agree. It seems you're very knowledgeable on this, Kratok.
Well, if you want to store alchemical stuff, you gotta like lock that in a lead vault. This is just not a good idea.
Well, I'm sure once the people awaken, they could probably really use this information. What? I rushed out and I saw that everybody seemed to be sleepwalking. It's weird. I was only having a single drink at the tavern and I fell asleep.
Well, it's happened to me more than once.
I guess it just seemed strange. I was sitting talking to a horse person and my eyes just kept getting heavier and heavier and I just fell asleep there at the table. I don't think that's ever happened to me. But I don't understand why was everyone sleepwalking? Was I sleepwalking?
Did we actually see Greta sleepwalking? I don't know.
You just saw her actually pass out at the table, and horse person was passed out in the little kitten pen.
No, I don't think you were. If I had to guess, that sleepwalking is related to those alchemists' things, the drugs. I don't know what to call them.
Those patches. I didn't want to take any. They They seemed weird.
From what I can tell, that seems to be the common denominator here.
Where did you all go? You're all quite filthy.
Kotaku looks like down in his flume and she's like, oh my god. I thought I cleaned that all up. We went and we caught a large meatball and, well, we won, but this is the aftermath.
You caught a meatball?
We fought a large meatball, yeah. It blew up all over the place.
It must be adventure stuff. Okay. All right. Well, I guess the meatball was responsible probably for the fire. I could see that you're hunting down a creature and caused a large fire and trying to hurt people and sleepwalkers and such. Okay, well, me and Horseperson are going to be leaving first thing in the morning to Elucia. We don't really want to stick around here. Are you all coming with?
Just look at everyone else. Yeah, I think so. We should at least stay until morning. Hopefully the sleepwalking is over with.
All right. Is there anything any of you would like to do before you go to sleep? Because you're quite exhausted at the moment.
Bathe.
You all make that that public bath into a very different color. It is almost a crime.
Obviously, TK's fine. She was spit bathed.
Oh yeah, got a spit shine like a Space Jam.
Yeah, we're sitting on like a month's worth of time displaced BO. So they're very unhappy. And despite the murky bath from the meatball gunk, I think they definitely also take a bath.
As you're coming out of the bath, Weary, Trevatha stops you, and you see that Trevatha's their gear has been completely cleaned as well.
I must be heading out, Weary, but I wanted to stop and see you before I left.
Of course. Well, that makes sense. You have to report that your comrade is dead, and that hopefully the alchemist is dead too, and
I
yeah.
hope so. Vampires are hard to kill. But
right, I'm sure he'll show up with enough time and like some sort of compelling twist.
Yeah. I'm gonna head back to Vol'Kaethe though. I can't contact people through arcane means, but here, use this, and if you ever need help, you know that you always have a friend in the Order of the Cleansers. I'll never forget what you did and the time that we shared.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Trevatha. This is good. I'm glad. Granted, I just probably made an enemy for the rest of my natural life, but I think we did a good thing.
I don't think that Caden's gonna do anything. They seemed weak and pathetic.
You're right. They are weak and pathetic.
And Trevatha hands you this. It looks quite old, but you can tell it's some kind of like communicator. It's this square, and there's a couple buttons along the side. In our world, we know this to be kind of like a walkie-talkie, but it's a lot more upgraded than that. And Trevatha explains that you can use this by going on the right frequency, and you can communicate with her, and she should be able to, at the very least, help you if there's ever some great need, or have somebody come look into what's happening. And what is the super sweet handshake that you came up with in the 30 days that you were together?
That's true. We have a very involved handshake, which is more involved than Weary normally is in general, and it's that Weary actually hugs Trevatha. Because Trevatha was always like attached to the thing and couldn't like do any kind of physical affection before, so Weary's like dwarfed in size, but like just hugs. And it was like, okay, this is nice.
Stay safe, Weary. You're a good person,
Me too, Trevor.
and you can really help a lot of people out there. I believe in you.
Okay, okay. No, stop. I'm gonna cry.
I'm not crying. What? I have to go.
I can't tell because of your hood. You get out of here.
And Trebitha looks back at you one last time before crouching through the door and and leaving the Adventurers Guild. As somebody's cutting onions and your eyes get a little misty.
Yeah, of course.
So, you all sleep well. You're so tired. And you crash hard. You have no sweet dreams. You have no bad dreams. It is just black. And then you wake up and you feel good again. You feel rested. You're no longer under any kind of exhaustion or anything like that. You wake up, you can hear the sound of birds and a lot of people. It's a hustle and bustle outside. So you can hear like a part of the Adventurers Guild was damaged, and so there is a bit of a hole that's in a wall, but they're trying to patch it up, and you can hear the sounds of the town, everybody outside rushing around. There's just a lot of clamor and people surprised to find a lot of their town burned down. And so what would all of you like to do?
So I imagine some sleepwalker washed our clothes.
Yeah, everything looks great. You left it all out there and it's clean and good.
Yeah. I'm gonna get up super early and kind of slip out to the stables. And I just kind of see Muffin. And I just kind of go up and I kind of just lean my head against their neck. And I say, "Oh, Muffin, I made a mess of everything."
And Muffin just leans over and bites your head. And you feel the teeth on the side of your head as it's like sucking in air.
Yes. So I have a lot to think about, so I'm going to stay out here and brush the spider horses because that's a nice repetitive motion that I can do. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not like engaging the town folk right now.
Okay. How about the rest of you?
Kutok finds like a paper and a quill pen and starts to write out some notes for the townsfolk so they don't have any more disasters. So he just writes out like use more clay and brick construction, make sure dangerous supplies are locked up, routine inspections of new vendors, and he writes like million exclamation marks beside this one. And yeah, so where was the speech given again? I think you would kind of deliver it to there.
Yeah, there was like a town square, and there was a few like important municipal buildings, and the people you deliver it to, like some people they had like some grass stuck to like the side of their face, and their hair was messed up, and they're like sitting at a desk, and when you bring this in, like, oh wow, this is really good. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. Wow, these are really good plans. You should do this for a living.
Kutok just kind of like smiles and says, yeah, I've been told that before. Just make sure this stuff doesn't happen again, okay? I don't want to hear about it happening again.
We'll take it. Yeah, sure. Thanks.
It's so backhanded because he's partly the problem.
But nobody needs to know that. How about you other three as everyone's getting ready?
I'm putting before I went to sleep, like I put my plant in one of my jars of dirt so it'll kind of just refresh. And then I go kind of like wandering around for like a garden to like steal some dirt.
Yeah, you definitely
And finding,
find a few.
like, see if I can find like the burnt ground, like the burnt soil, if there was any, and like trying to scoop that into jars and all that.
There's a lot of like people had like flower beds and stuff set up around their homes, so it's pretty easy to collect a lot of what you need. as you're going through and just filling up these jars of dirt. And nobody's really stopping you because they're all very busy with repairing a burned town and figuring out why their town burned. As everyone's trying to put these pieces together, and a lot of people you're starting to hear like, I guess good times must have been the cause, because it lit up. Oh my god, poor Caden. Oh, they probably didn't make it out alive. Ah, that's sad. Really weird we slept through this one, team. And everyone's like, yeah, well, you know how it is. And you're wondering what it's going to be like in this town when everyone is off of the happiness. How about you, TK?
TK gathers up all of her gear and whatnot and heads down to the stables, gives Princess a good pat, and climbs up on top of her and jams her arm up underneath of the wrestling belt. And then pulls out grabs the Doom Cube and pops it open.
Oh, so are you popping it open to speak to the Duke?
Yes.
Okay, and we'll just go to Weary first before we go there. What are you up to this morning?
2 quick things. I get my potion ready for the morning. It's a potion of boldness, which is like a single target bless spell, so 1d4 to attacks and saving throws for
Nice.
whoever drinks it. And I go out to the outskirts of town, and I bring the loader bot into town. On my way there, I disable the murder mode if I can, and then I kind of leave it on the edge of town and say, like, found this in the woods, might help with repairs, like with a little note on it.
This little sign that says free.
Yeah, like just do the trainings. It's very simple. Don't look a gift Magitech horse in the mouth.
Like the classic saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's everyone in Arcanium says it. It's canon now. Yeah, and then Weary does all that and makes a mental note to check in with Kratok, because Kratok is well traveled and might know the language that Vol'Kaethe wrote that book in.
Alrighty. So you head on back into town, and you see there's already, like, because you put the free sign out, so there's already a few people who are like, oh, what's that over there? They're kind of peering over and coming near it, doing that class, like, yeah, like slapping the hood. And
you can smell those free signs.
oh yeah, All right, so TK, you work this Rubik's Cube magic, and the cube is humming happily. And you see the little tubes come out, and as you feel them go up your nose, everything goes black. And then suddenly, you just smell the smell of like an indoor fireplace, and you can kind of faintly smell the smell of scotch as your vision is coming to. You're looking around. The room of Duke Peyton, when you were last here, was this very lavish room. It was filled, like, all the walls were these massive bookshelves. There was this mahogany desk and a spinny wheelie chair that Duke Peyton would sit in. And there was the fireplace there and a door leading outward. Now that you're here, it looks like nobody's been here for a while. Like, there's a layer of dust. The fireplace is still crackling. There's a lot of ashes in it. And you look over at the desk and you see Duke Peyton's there, hair's disheveled. They have a beard going. And they have these bags under their eyes. He looks up. Oh, TK. Goodness, how long has it been? Well, it's good to see you alive. How are things?
Oh, I'm muted. TK looks around confused, like, what's going on here? What happened to this place?
I don't have any servants to help me keep up with the cleaning anymore. I'm putting a lot of my funds into bringing down this cult. Yes.
Place looks like it's been abandoned for like years.
Oh no, it hasn't been years. Don't you worry. Would you care for a drink? Would you like to have a seat?
Okay. So, yeah, she takes a seat. There's a bottle within reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just grabs it and takes a swig out of it. Okay. I need you to be real with me here.
Yep.
Is this real life?
Right now, where we are.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you sure?
The Duke looks around, and the room flickers for a second, and then it looks very decrepit. You see there's a hole in the ceiling, there's a storm going on above, and then it flickers back.
What's that?
This is real life, TK. But I'm a man on borrowed time.
What does that mean?
I only have enough energy to keep going for maybe another year or so. Or I need to get rid of this church. I need to get revenge on what they did.
Okay, look, I'm same goal here. We're heading in the same direction. You gotta be real with me, because I'm really doubting the veracity of this entire world. I might be in a tube still.
A tube? Are you? No. A Zerithian Doom Cube requires ingredients. A Zerithian Doom Cube requires people. And what that man did, what that banded mask wielder did to me and my family, it is unforgivable, TK. And I am now trapped here. I am trapped here and there is no escape. I am in this cube. And I only have so much time before I too am merged with it. I have funds. I have a means to get those funds to you, but I need to see progress. We need to collect those masks. We need to kill those leaders.
Okay. Didn't see that one. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna be real with you. What do we do when we get the masks?
You have to destroy
What do we do
it.
with them?
Absolutely
With what?
annihilate the mask. You have to find an item that can destroy it. Those masks are artifacts of great power, so you will need something equally as strong to destroy it.
Okay. Any ideas where we could start with that?
There's...
I have one of the masks.
You have one of the masks?
Yes.
This is good. This is good. They need the mass. Okay. What can we use? There's a number of large Magitech cannons that are in the Foundry of Steel. There are, if you go to the Golden Bazaar, there is one of the walking cities. You can the cores of them. It should be strong enough to melt the thing down. There's two relic weapons that have been created. Well, they'll be created, but they exist now. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but there's 2 blades you can look into. There's the dark blade and there's the bright blade. You can use either one of those. Any one of these things is an option. You take that mask and you have to destroy it. You cannot let it be used.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh. It's not the direction I saw this conversation going. Yeah. I mean, honestly, that was kind of the plan. We weren't sure what to do with it. I suggested we try to break it, but nobody listened to me.
That's why you're the leader of the group,
Get them
DK.
to listen now. I mean, to be fair, I didn't really have a good idea for breaking it. I was just going to smash it on the ground.
I'm so excited. This is fantastic news. You have one of the masks. You can destroy it, and then there's just 4 more to go.
I will get with them and see what we get round up. Don't get eaten by the cube, I guess.
I am resisting the cube at the moment. Do not worry.
Cool. This got a lot more awkward than I thought it was going to get. I'm sorry that you're stuck in a box.
I'm just glad that I can enact at least a bit of revenge against that fiend.
Like someone specific we should be looking out for, or
Well,
the fiend, as in like the entire church.
The banded mask. If you encounter this person, run. They are incredibly powerful. They destroyed my entire family. That I've seen them slay adventurers.
Yeah, we kind of bumped into that one. Probably definitely should have ran.
Are you telling me you fought them?
Fought is a strong word. We didn't die. Be a more accurate word.
That being will only let you live if there's a reason. All right. You can still defeat this. You can take that mask, either go to one of those locations, the Foundry of Steel, the Golden Bazaar, find one of those blades, anything, and destroy it. Absolutely annihilate that piece of shit. Do not let it get placed on anyone. The more they use the mask, the stronger the connection grows.
Right. On it, Chief.
Do you need more funds? Let's see. You've collected a mask. I'll get 500. 500 gold sent for each of you. Where are you heading? What town is next?
What town is next? It looks like it'd be Eluzio, right?
Yeah.
All right. I think we're going to Eluzio.
Okay. I'll have the funds sent there. Perfect. This is fantastic news. They will be hunting you, but be careful.
Man. I'm a master of subtlety.
I have the utmost faith in you.
Smart. All right. In that case, I am out.
So you
taking this bottle with me.
As you're saying I'm out and you're holding onto the bottle, like pulling it closer to you, you suddenly just rock forward. You're on Princess. You're holding onto the cube as it goes back to a cube form and starts floating around the little skeletal lizard person. And you're kind of shaking your head, and you see like Glyph is over, like just in a really repetitive mode, just like brushing these horses. Even like there's some horses you don't own. Glyph is brushing those horses, and the rest of your companions are coming out. And as you're trying to clear your head, you can just hear outside the loader bot being used, and some people like running and screaming, going, "No, you hit the wrong button!" And then coming into the stables, you see they have like a pill-like body, and two arms that are sticking out, and 2 legs. They have a large straw hat, and it looks like they have a piece of hay or something, and it's taped to their electronic face. They look over at all of you. Hi! My name's SD3V3! And that's where we'll stop the story. Did y'all have fun today?
I appreciate Robot Steve.
Yes. Steve.
I love ST3V3. I actually have a picture of them. I was working on it. I'll see if I can get it to pop up on here. But yeah, I didn't expect you to bring your life collapsing and everything to come into the story, but that with the cube, but that makes sense. This is ST3V3. So they have a large backpack that's full of goods, like a chainsaw, a gun that says "We're sorry," a fish that has its eyes scratched out. Just things that you would have as a traveling merchant.
This is good. He might have that shopping cart item that I'm requiring.
Like a little Nostradamus Corporation.
Precious.
Little dent. That's ST3V3. So you have your traveling merchant is on their way.
Yay!
Just as you come across this big conclusion. All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead and go around the table if we have any recommendations or anything like that. I know I talked about a lot of things, so remember June 10th, charity event, 1 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. CST. We got 2 sweet games going on. Come out, have some fun with the game. It's for a good cause, and just watch the ridiculous things that we get up to. We have a Patreon. Check it out. You'll learn about Yulden and the weird things going on at the Nostradamus Corporation. All sorts of fun stuff there. But my recommendation for the day. Or I guess I can say first. First, you can find me. I run the Ballad of the Seven Dice Twitter. I'm also the GM for Ballad of the Seven Dice, the podcast. It's our campaign, The Tales of the Chosen Few. If you love Eldritch Wars and you love hearing a DM completely rip apart the Forgotten Realms because it's been around for far too long and somebody just needs to break it, that show is just for you. So come check that out. So the one that I am recommending you check out is actually a fairly new stream. They only have 1 episode that's come out so far, but it is the Mistwalkers. So that is over on the Twitch group Real Women Gaming. Cassie from the Lovely Craftians is actually a part of the Mistwalkers. The story takes place basically reality, as far as I understand it, is collapsing, and the astral realms and everything are all like starting to cave in, and there's this small pocket of the material realm that exists, and they're trying to go forward and find ways to save this pocket of the last bit of the material realms. And so these adventurers or these Mistwalkers are going out to look into this. So definitely check that out. They're just starting. So I believe it's every second Saturday. So hop on over there. Ian, why don't you go ahead?
Sure thing. Hi, everybody. You'll be pleased to know that in 2 whole days, that is Thursday, the 1st of July, the next episode of Road to WrestleMania comes out, which is a wrestling-themed D&D 5e mini-campaign that I DM'd over on the Are We Dead Yet podcast. That's Are We Dead Yet podcast. And, it's a good, fun, magical wrestling time with... I think the next episode is the one where they collaborate with vendors to create their specific wrestling merchandise. And, I know you come for the high-octane fight action and the +1 steel chair, but you should also stay for, them messing around and talking to their sponsors, because it was a really good time. And then they do a couple more fights and have a good time. And definitely don't cause any catastrophic damage to this entire societal structure over the course of 6 episodes. But if you want to call me a liar, you'll have to watch all 6 and find out, or listen to all 6 and find out. So that is my recommendation. I didn't have anything extra this week, so I'm passing it along. My Twitter is Ian_Caliente.
Awesome. I definitely need to listen to WrestleMania. I have some free time coming up. Meg.
Hey, I am Meg. You can find me on Twitter at Narnia's Pants, where today it was screaming about the really bad IKEA couches. But I usually screech about the wonderful struggle that is being a music educator in a low socioeconomic existence, I suppose. Brain quit working. And so somebody actually did donate some boomwhackers for my classroom, so thank you so much to whoever that was. I now have I say they're musical instruments, but they are weapons for my kids to either use or for me to use on them. We'll find out. Stay tuned. But I've got a bunch of books and stuff still that I would love to have in my classroom, so I am plugging that. Today is also the last day for Eris Savad's pre-order for her Gay Dragons. She has a wonderful little print, and you can get, I believe there's still the utility rolls, some small bags, and like a little D4 triangle bag. Those are adorable. Make that order now. Today is the last day. There's also still some jewelry. There's a new line she's got coming out. So follow at Stitched by Eris to keep up with all of that release stuff. Because I have impulse problems and keep buying it. So somebody do it for me.
Awesome. Jess.
My brain is also I don't remember what I was going to plug, but I'm going to plug once again our Patreon for Ballad of the Seven Dice, because as Lucas has said, there's like 14 hours of extra stuff, and it's great. And the latest miniseries ties right into the Rise campaign. And I don't know if y'all are watching my face, but certain things were happening, and I was freaking out a little bit. But that is Patreon exclusive. So for some pocket change, all of that media can be yours to enjoy. And I hope you will enjoy it, so I will have someone to yell about it with. So please do that.
Yeah, please do listen to them. I love making these audio dramas, and Eve lent her voice to this recent one, so it's really good. And Eve.
Oh. I think, well, first of all, you can find me at Copper Harpy on the Twitter. That is Copper as in the metal, Harpy as in the bird monster. And this week, I'm going to recommend a game by the name of Carry On, in which you play a biological monstrosity made out of meat and teeth that consumes and tears your way through a science facility in a search for freedom. It's a lot of fun. And this Friday at 7 p.m. CST, I will be streaming on this very channel. I haven't decided if I'm going to be playing Carry On or Sea of Thieves. We'll see. We'll put a pep up.
Awesome. I'll be checking that out. And Jason.
Alright, so I got two things here. The first one is July 10th. Very important day. Lucas has already mentioned it as the fundraiser day. I'm sure our game will be great, but I especially am looking forward to the Just Doctor Work game. That whole crew is absolutely fucking hilarious. You gotta tune in. It'll be great. You'll literally laugh your ass off. Like, it won't just be an expression. I'm telling you, it'll be great. And the other one, in a IRL note, go check out your local's farmers market. I did that on this weekend. I got some good bread, some good jams, other good treats, grandma's recipe that you couldn't be bothered to make yourself kind of stuff. It's pretty good. Get out in the sun. It's a great time. You support local. That's my recommendation for the week. And thanks for coming out, everyone.
I will say that Just Doctor Work, that's the only game that I actually laughed so hard I was crying, and I had to stop the game so that I can go into another room and stop. But it was amazing. Awesome. All right. Thank you everyone so much for coming by. And we have had a lovely time and we can't wait to see you